yet. Come on. There we go. There's an intro. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60s.com, the guitar buying, selling, trading money, bringing, playing podcast. What if I did the whole show like this?
What if I did the whole show like this?
Right.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
This first ad was sent by Steve Lee. It's called Vampire.
Okay, knock it off.
Handmade body.
No. I don't want to do. I don't want to do a whole show like that. It's really weird. I don't think people would want to listen to that.
You do it normal. I'm just gonna do it like this.
No, let's do normal voices.
Handmade body neck from question mark guitar. Yeah, no kidding. It works, but even if you don't play, you can hang it on the wall.
Can you?
One of a kind. No more pictures. Thank you. So if you want more pictures from this guy, he's like, nah.
No, this is it.
All right. So I went from where the text is. I went back one picture. This isn't going to be helpful for people. So far, it looks pretty interesting, but normal. Dude, I just don't understand.
Okay, so like,
why do you think this is a vamp? Is this called vamp?
I think that's what it said in the description, maybe.
Oh no, yeah, the title is Vampire Guitar. This is like, to me, this is okay, we'll talk about it, but like not vampire. I don't see vampire here.
It's some sort of monster. Oh yeah, a vampire guitar, $125. It has this like creepy eye thing going on, but it really just ends up looking goofy. It looks like a deep sea creature that got pulled up, and
deep sea creature.
So
that's good. That's good.
His eyes bulged out.
Yeah.
It also like the shape of it, because the shape of it is nonsensical. I see that they've made these bottom horns into fangs with a little bit of white paint.
Yep.
The top horns make no sense whatsoever. Yeah. But if you change the color and the texture of it in your mind's eye, use your imagination a little bit, Steve.
Okay, I'm imagining.
It looks like a rotisserie chicken.
I see it right away. This has skull knobs and a skull truss rod cover, so it's going for the full horror theme here.
Is that truss rod cover actually a truss rod cover? It looks like they just jammed a little tiny, cute little skull in the truss rod hole.
But all right, hear me out. Also, okay, there are 6 things. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
All right. Note, get rid of the skulls. Add some whiskers to this guitar, and you've got a walrus guitar. You get a pedal. You get you recreate that pedal board that we did the giveaway on, the walrus audio pedal board. And wait, that wasn't did we do a walrus pedal board?
I did. It was a giveaway through Sweetwater.
Giveaway. You do that, you got a walrus guitar for your walrus pedal board. That's a good idea. I see
where you're getting at with the tusks, but I don't see it. I don't see a walrus face here. I guess I see the bulging eyes.
Walrus, it's the eyes.
They have those bulging eyes. Yeah, they have the whiskers, and I totally see the walrus connection.
It also kind of like looks like maybe like a boar, like some kind of weird boar.
I don't think it looks like anything other than a rotisserie chicken.
What they should have done is they should have taken the eyes and like angled them outward and just gone with like some kind of Egyptian theme.
What? No, there still wouldn't be any connection to the body. Like the
eye socket kind of has that like R thing going.
I don't like looking at this.
Ryan, is this good art?
And also, like, you can tell that neck is like the way it's been spray painted is awful. The headstock, you can see the orange peel in all 8 pixels that we have of the headstock.
Yeah,
it's rough. Like the finish on the body looks better than the headstock, and that's not saying much.
So you think that this is bad?
I think it's bad all around.
You think this is bad art?
I think
Ryan, no art is bad. It's all subjective. You as a graphic designer should know this. There's never been bad art has never been made.
That's really not the argument. I think there is there's all sorts of different ways to define something as either bad or good art, and a lot of that is subjective. I think we could use some very strict guidelines here to debate whether or not this art is effective or not.
You know what this reminds?
This art is not effective at communicating anything clearly.
It does not give vampire.
It doesn't give vampire. If you had shown this to me and been like, what is this? I never would have said vampire. I would have said it was supposed to be some sort of spooky creature, but I never would have landed on vampire.
I think I could have gotten to like
bat,
bulldog.
I could have gotten to bat maybe. I could have been like, oh, so like a weird bat face with the fangs, but still super, super duper weird.
I'm still seeing some kind of weird. You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember?
Anytime you see skull hardware on a guitar too, it's just the whole thing is ruined. Just throw it away.
Do you remember Perry Bible Fellowship?
Oh, of course I remember it. I think about it all day.
Yeah, I follow them on Instagram. I'm very proud of that.
You should be proud, Steve. You've accomplished a lot with that relationship.
But there is a. You probably might remember one where it's like the king is sad, and so the king's assistant comes over and pulls his shirt up.
Yeah,
and it's like a heavy set dude, and then he like makes a mouth with his stomach.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cheer up, king.
No, this has those vibes. That's what this. This is the wrinkly stomach face.
Yeah,
of a guitar. I can't see any way to rescue this. Like I'm looking at it, like, is this salvageable in any way? And I don't see it.
Dude, this guitar inspired the Fallout, that brand new Fall Out Boy song, We Didn't Start the Fire, that super original Fall Out Boy song, We Didn't Start the Fire.
Look at the huge...
Inspired by this guitar because this guitar belongs in a fire.
Look at the huge control plate cover on the back.
Yeah, what's that? Oh, that's because it
has a Strat trim. But they did an all-in-one back plate cover that is your control cover and your spring cover all in one, but it looks
because I know the thing that I want to do every time I change strings is
open up the control cavity,
twice as many screws as I need to.
The only way to save this is to transform it into a rotisserie chicken guitar. It's right there. It's what it wants to be. The wings are there. Like all these things trying to be horns. No, those are wings, and the other horns at the tail are the legs. You just need to put you just need a little bit of clay on there to sculpt the end of like a chicken leg and paint it just right, and you got yourself a rotisserie chicken guitar.
Ryan. I actually think there are other ways to save this guitar.
You could use it in a fireplace for fire.
Yeah, put it in a fire, throw it into the canyon, and forget that you ever owned it. If you took the neck off, then the body becomes a frisbee, so you can throw it extra far.
What did they want for it?
Because it has teeth.
$125.
You could hold the neck, and you could use like the teeth part to like as a hoe in the garden to aerate.
See, this is kind of like it falls back on what I've said on the show forever. Guitarists don't need to be reminded that they're guitarists with decorations in their house. They just want guitars. A vampire does not need to be reminded that they're a vampire by owning a vampire guitar, because that's who the target market is here. Is vampires. A vampire is not going to buy this guitar to like reinforce in their life, like, I'm a vampire, I need a vampire guitar. No, if they're going to go the pointy direction, they're going to go the metal direction, then they're just going to go straight BC Rich.
Yeah.
They're going to get a warlock. They're going to get, they're going to get various versions of pointy guitars from various companies. If they're classy, which most of them are, most vampires want to be kind of classy and lacy and stuff like that. They're going to get one of those like semi-hollow, like arty looking guitars that look like they're carved like a violin sort of thing, and they have the tuning, the unique tuning pegs. I'm forgetting the company that Maybach made some of those. They're going to get something that looks classy and antique, or maybe and matches a coffin. I
was thinking maybe though they weigh so much, they're so heavy. You get a Schecter Ultra. I feel like that's a good guitar for a vampire. Get that Cure vibe.
I feel like if I was a vampire, Okay, this is where we are now. This is where we are now.
If you were a vampire.
If I was a vampire, my vibe would be kind of like a cyber gothy vampire. Like, there's a vampire that hacks, you know? So I'm going to be playing like some sort of weird like headless guitar or something like that.
Like a
I'm
Strandberg.
going to play a Strandberg.
Strandberg, guitars for vampires.
And I'm going to be more matrixy than classic vampire, you know. I'm going to have, you know, I'm not going to have dark hair. I'm going to be full bleached,
like
silver hair.
White Blade.
Yeah, I'll be like White Blade. Yeah.
White Blade.
White Blade. That would be actually pretty great because, you know, they were all like the 70s blaxploitation movies, like Black Dracula and stuff like that. It would be great if there was a white exploitation movie that was White Blade.
What is a white exploitation
I don't know.
movie?
I just invented it and it's awful.
It's like a movie, but like all of the characters are just like like they're rich and they're blowing cocaine, like they're just snorting cocaine.
I guess so. It's most movies.
What is white exploitation? How does
Wolf
that work?
of Wall Street.
Don't add us. I don't want to know.
The Royal Tenenbaums is white exploitation.
If you have some ideas for what white exploitation might mean,
this is a bad topic.
Find us on Twitter.
Okay, Steve, what vampire vibe would you go for? Because I'm going techno vampire, you know, cyberpunk vampire.
I don't know, man. I think I just want to be left alone.
So recluse.
I'd be like reclusive. I think I'd just be like, I probably, you
have to think about who you want to feed on.
Yeah, dude. You know who I would feed on?
Who would you feed on?
I'd be doing the world a service. This is the true nature of having a superpower.
Okay, all right.
Such as vampire.
It's more of a curse, a blight upon.
Well, I mean, it
humanity.
depends on can you go out in the sunlight? I'm assuming you can go.
Classic vampire rules.
So
we're just talking about your style, man. We're not talking about
saying, like, I think I'm just gonna be like a regular dude vampire.
So you're gonna be like polo and shorts, you know?
Yeah, but no polos. But here's the thing: what would I feed on? Solar power company representatives.
Just door-to-door sales.
If you're gonna freaking leech off of me, I'm gonna feed off of you.
But here's the thing, Steve.
What?
They only come during the day.
Dude,
you're gonna have to have a familiar.
My patio's shaded. It's cool.
You're gonna have to have a familiar.
My patio's shaded.
And they're gonna be like, yeah, come in. Let's talk about solar. And then they're gonna slam the door and bolt it.
I mean,
and it's gonna be all dark in there.
They want to come in. They
do.
Are begging to come inside your house.
They're begging.
Let me come into your house and tell you about solar and how much money I can save you over the next 7 years. Tell me about the
sun and the power of the sun. Take a seat. Oh, man. Yes, I know all about the sun.
Solar.
And then just slurping on. Just slurping on solar sales.
The problem is they probably taste bad.
Why would they taste bad? What about a solar salesperson tastes bad, Steve?
Well, first of all,
just because you don't like being marketed door to door.
Solar salespeople. That's really all there is. You can't get them to go away. It's like vampires. You have to, in order for a vampire to enter your house, it has to be invited, right?
Right.
But the solar salesperson just assumes they're invited. And when you're
you having solar salespeople try to barge into your house?
When you're like, no, you're not invited. They're like, well, what about next week? Can I be invited next week?
I just close the door on people. I don't talk to
them. Yeah. And then I don't even answer the door anymore. They call me. Literally. They call you? Literally, they got my number.
I wanted to talk about vampires. Steve wants to talk about solar people.
No, I'm just talking about how, as a vampire, I would feed on solar.
It sounds like you have the appropriate amount of rage in you that you would probably end up blaming your situation on the solar people. Like, I only became a vampire because I hated the sun so much because of the solar people. The solar people pushed me into this.
I don't know.
Steve, do you have solar?
No.
Because if
I get solar, according to my wife, if we get solar, then the solar salespeople will be replaced with the solar panel cleaning salespeople.
We haven't gotten any of those.
Well,
but Steve, if you want to get solar,
market.
Because I got it. I got an email the other day. If you go and name drop me when you order it from Sunrun, I think I'm going to get $1,000.
Oh, dude, Sunrun is like the bane of Menifee right now. Everybody hates them.
I'm going to get $1,000, Steve.
All right.
If you name drop me. You guys could probably do it out there. You want solar? Sunrun. Say Ryan Burke sent me.
Ryan Burke sent
yeah.
you.
Ryan Burke in San Diego, California sent me. Get your solar, and I'm going to get $1,000 gift certificate, I think, to Applebee's.
I don't know. I'm imagining like being the Ted Lasso of vampires. I think that's an appropriate
I haven't watched
reference.
that show, so I don't know.
I've never watched it either. I'm just like picturing Jason Sudeikis with a mustache and thinking like that's a good vampire look.
And would he play this guitar?
Do vampires regenerate?
Yeah.
So vampires with glasses probably don't. That doesn't make any sense.
They don't need glasses anymore unless they want the glasses.
I mean, I do want the glasses.
Right. It's your look. You know, it's your whole vampire look.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one should buy this guitar unless they want to convert it into a rotisserie chicken guitar.
I'm really seeing maybe we're looking at this upside down. Maybe it's like a cow and these are horns and the eyes are just.
Then what would the rest of it be, Steve?
Really long.
It's
a really long forehead.
No, this is a bad guitar. No one should buy it unless they want to repurpose it into a rotisserie chicken. All right, what's next, Steve?
Or
we're doing
Frisbee.
Some business. What are we doing?
Let's do some housekeeping.
We talked about that way too long.
Oh gosh, if you want us to talk about other things, this probably isn't going to help. But you can try by signing up for our Patreon at patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. Every once in a while, I don't know, you haven't updated, I don't think, in a couple minutes, or a couple weeks rather, but you get updates on Ryan's the 60 cycle hum design guitar.
Shoot. Yeah, I need to finish that.
We need to get some updates on that.
We're
doing Patreon's doing we're trying to do one video a month that's Patreon sponsored.
Well, I'm trying
to contribute to that.
I don't know if it's going to be a month, but it's like as things occur to me, right? The next thing I'm going to do is there's going to be a Patreon funded video for those new I forget who makes them. There's these new affordable pedals out that I don't have a contact for, so I'm going to buy a couple of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think, is it Moore or Mosky or something? I forget. They came out with a line of pedals that I want to get like 3 of them or something like that. And that'll be Patreon funded.
Stuff like that goes on Patreon.
Also, the Patreon money pays for us to send digital gift cards out to the winner each week. We cover 3 ads each week, and when we pick our favorite, the person who sent it gets a $25 digital gift card to the retailer of their choice, as long as it's easy and makes sense and we can actually get it for them, So if you want to go with Sweetwater, you want to go with Amazon.
Those are ones that so Sweetwater, Amazon, Reverb, those 3 I can verify are easy and they make sense.
But if you want to go with
I'll say, because I'm the one doing it.
Sure.
It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be easy.
Exactly.
Probably the weirdest one I've done so far. I'm not challenging anyone to go weird. If you want to, that's on you. But the weirdest one I've done so far is Whataburger.
That was weird.
Like I said, it's not really that weird, but I did
Get some fast food.
Get some fast food.
You might be like, I don't want to spend $25 on guitar gear, but I know I could blow that on Starbucks.
Everybody eats. You want Starbucks? We can work that. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Obviously the Amazon one, they could be buying anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All you have to do is send us some cool ads that you found on the internet, and if we pick it and it wins, then you got yourself a $25 gift certificate, and the Patreon's paid for it. So thank you, Patreons.
I was waiting for the tie back. All right. This episode is brought to y'all not just by the Patreons, but also by Sweetwater.
Thank you, Sweetwater. They want everyone out there, all the parents out there, all the dads, all the moms, and all the children to know that they have instrument rentals for band stuff. So you've got a kid in junior high or 4th grade or high school, they're doing marching band or they're doing symphony stuff or something like that. You need to rent an oboe. You need to rent a cello. You need to rent a tuba, because you're going to start a ska band and you're not quite sure if you even know how to play tuba anymore. You can rent it from Sweetwater. It's not all guitar stuff. It's not all live sound. It's not all lighting. They have all that stuff, but they also have band rental. Go check it out. We've got a link down in the description. They're being very generous by sponsoring the podcast. I think for a month. It might go longer than that, but it is
We'll see.
Banishment rental month over there. I think
their rental program is a 100% rent to own program. They're with no hidden fees.
so. Like if you just keep it, eventually you own it.
I guess that's what it sounds like,
Well, there you go.
which is fantastic because.
But they also
that's
have a
what
great return policy. Like if you can return it and you're not going to get charged for it anymore after you return it. And it's like they send you the return shipping, you put it back in the box and it's gone. And like, you don't have to take it back to some shop on the outskirts of town that you haven't been happy dealing with anyways.
Yeah.
Like I said in the last episode, when I was in 4th grade, I rented a trumpet to try to learn that. And the shop that I rented it from still exists. And now as an adult, like going in there and knowing like what that shop's quality is like, I don't even get guitar strings from there anymore. Cause like, I don't really trust them. So like I wouldn't, if like say one of my kids decided they wanted to pick up a band instrument, I'd probably be going the Sweetwater direction rather than renting local because I really don't have a lot of faith in that shop. So that's me.
This episode is also brought to you by Chase Bliss. They have a new
right.
pedal, the Reverse Mode C.
Here's a photo of
the
it.
The Reverse Mode C is based on the Reverse Mode C from the Empress Super Delay.
They're doing a cool thing, Steve. I don't know if you know about this. They're doing this ordering system where the scalpers will not be able to take advantage of the situation and buy up all these precious pedals before the people who actually want them are able to order them. They're gonna take all the orders from people who want them and then produce the pedal.
It's called Small Batch Bliss, and anytime between now and August 31st,
that's my birthday.
You can order a Chase Bliss pedal, or you can order this Chase Bliss pedal, and that's how it's just, they're doing a pre-order run.
Yeah.
But it's a pre-order run for a limited edition item. They may only do one batch, so it will stay small batch, but that small batch could be 100 units. It could be 100,000 units. Who knows?
Chase Bliss is saying, screw you, scalpers. We want to make sure only people who want this pedal.
Could you imagine if they had a pre-order and it was 100,000 units? That'd be pretty wild.
But you know what? That's part of the benefit to Chase Bliss going direct sales only is that they don't have to maintain production for any retailers. So they can say like, hey, let's do this thing. If it blows up, then that'll just be our year. You know, we'll just be making these things because we'll just be in business making these things until we're ready to make a different thing. You know, it's smart. They don't have to maintain relationships with retailers because they know the demand is there and they can just do everything in-house. So
thanks, Chase Bliss, and thanks, Sweetwater.
Absolutely.
This next ad is called
Electronic Brain.
Electronic Brain.
It was sent by Connor McLaughlin.
Custom pedal board with a distortion delay flange and a wall pedal, all powered by an electronic brain. Never need batteries again. What does that mean?
It looks like he made a homemade power supply.
And it's ginormous. Oh, it's not that big, I guess.
It's pretty big.
It's bigger than it needs to be.
It's pretty big for something that is powering 4 pedals, and like you could go get yourself a K-Line whatever, a Joyo whatever for $20, and I almost guarantee you it would be better than this situation, whatever this is. It looks like an electrical fire waiting to happen.
Yes,
because it's
agreed.
Like I'm not against someone DIYing their own power supply. If you know how to do it, great. There's plenty of small builders out there making power supplies. You don't have to have an off-the-shelf power supply. But this thing is buck wild. It is wide open on the sides. It's a plate of metal suspended on like welded rods with another plate of metal as the top of it. It has a fuse, a switch, and 4 lights. Is this a battery?
No.
No, it's just the power supply because I see a cable coming out the back of it.
Yeah, there's a cable coming out the back. So basically, this is a power supply. Somebody just built their own.
It looks like it only powers 4 pedals.
It only powers 4 pedals. It could probably power more if it was like.
And the power jacks coming out of it are straight. They're not right angle, which is super annoying to me.
Just how the person designed it.
The cables are hard soldered into it. They're not. It looks like this person made a power supply out of parts that they found in an AutoZone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Also, I don't think these are, you said they're welded. I don't think they're welded. Those are screws. What are you seeing that you think is welded?
Look down there. That little joint down there looks welded to me.
Oh, I see. I see. So I think that's just the way that this whole thing is.
What is this thing? Like, what is this piece of metal that he found?
I'm pretty sure that this is like a thing you can buy at a store. It's just like a metal framing. So it's like a flat piece with pieces that come up.
For what purpose is it for?
I don't know.
Either do I. Like, it looks somewhat metalworky custom to me.
Yeah.
It looks like a metal shop thing. So someone took metal shop and then they took a basic electronics like college course and they made their own power supply. And now they're trying to get $650 for a DS1, what looks like maybe a DD5 or 6, and a BF2. The flanger actually looks like it could be a fun time. And then a Crybaby. So let's just kind of guesstimate $40 for the DS1 just as a retail price, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
The DD pedal, if it's a DD6,
let's say $100.
Used value, sure. And then the flanger, I mean, that's an older flanger. There might be a collector's value for that, but let's still call it like $150.
Sure.
So we're looking at $200 of Boss pedals here. I'm going to call that Crybaby because we don't know anything about it. $50. It could be $100, but it could be $50. This is $250 worth of pedals.
The old BF2s, at least. Oh, those are, yeah, they're like 200.
All right. So let's just round it up, and let's call it $300.
Yeah, it's still nowhere near $650, even though this is
No. This is okay. I'm willing to call this $400 worth of pedals. So now they're valuing that homemade power supply, which looks like a electrocution hazard to me, and some sort of pedal board case that might just be a suitcase. They're valuing all that at $250, which is like no, and we're already being generous with the used values of the Boss pedals.
So what if I told you?
Tell me.
This is in Canada.
Okay. What if you did tell me it was in Canada? How should I react to that?
How much do you think this is? What do you think is fair price for this?
He should part it out. He shouldn't be.
Sure.
He shouldn't be selling.
Okay.
He shouldn't.
I agree, but
Yeah.
what do you think is fair price for this? Based on what you just said, because I kind of got lost in there. DS1, $40.
I think he has to consider the power
say
supply.
140. We'll say the flanger is maybe worth 200, so we're 340.
If he
with
can,
the wall 390, you said call it an even 400.
If he considers the case and the power supply a loss, then I feel like at 350, then I'm starting to perk up and look at this as like, I could if there's something in here that I love, the rest of it is flip bait, you know, like if I fall in love with an old Boss flanger, then like I can flip the other stuff and at least get the money value out of those.
So,
and I have no idea what this case is. It might just be a weird suitcase. It might be something homemade. That power supply, I'm going to ask if I can leave it behind because I don't trust it. It looks fine, I guess, for a homemade thing, but I don't want a homemade power supply.
Okay.
Like of all the things in a rig that I would accept a homemade fuzz. Absolutely. A homemade power supply? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not interested in that. See, I feel like 350 is the border of me becoming interested in this.
This is $490.
That's still too high.
I'm just saying, like,
right.
It's not. It's a little cheaper. It's still, yeah. It's basically 500, and I would not.
That's still overvaluing a homemade power supply and a case that he hasn't told us anything about the case, and it doesn't look like it is anything that we would recognize as a commercial product.
The case is interesting to me because it has like the guitar handle.
Yeah,
like, it's interesting. Like I want to see more. I want to know what all's going on here. I don't think it's interesting enough.
I think it's something that was repurposed.
Fair.
It looks repurposed to me. Like this like like this held an airsoft gun or something like that, you know? Or maybe it held like a mixing board.
I actually just kind of thought this looked like one of those Rondo pedal board cases.
Maybe. I don't know. But like
from like back in the day.
Trying to upsell a homemade power supply.
No, I know.
A homemade power supply by itself is a wild proposition.
By calling it an electronic brain.
What does that even mean? What thinking does it do? Like, unless we're completely missing some feature that and everyone else knows what this does, and now we just sound like idiots. Like, oh, you guys, oh, that's a killer price on an electronic brain. What's an electronic brain? Someone fill us in if we are missing the script on that, please. This guy's not even used. Look at the patch cables this guy's using.
Build your own.
This guy made his own. This guy made his own hyper short patch cables to go in between those boss pedals. Look at those patch cables. They are 1/8 of an inch long.
You know,
that's one way to do it, I guess.
It works.
It works. He could have gotten the pedals closer to each other with pancake cables.
There are instructions on Instructables on how to build DIY.
Is it called an electronic brain?
You know who else?
Who else? No, don't play sounds, please.
I didn't know it was going to play sounds. It just started playing sounds. Oh, this is the Anasounds one. It's a video from Colin where he builds the Anasounds power supply.
Okay.
Because Anasounds did a DIY power supply.
Oh, all right.
I'm just looking at pictures of people's DIY power supplies.
Oh, okay.
They all look better than this.
Yeah.
I was trying to find one that looked like this, where it was just like
I don't think you're going to find it. Like it is 2 pieces of metal is suspended with metal rods with a transformer and various open components inside and cabling. Looks like speaker wire that's zip tied together and hard soldered into this power supply. Like it looks like a homemade bomb.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the reality is that as soon as you like try to like take this to a gig or something, you're going to fill the rest of this. One, you can't even fill the rest of it because this apparently will only power
like it's never
4 pedals directly.
Right. It's never a great situation to have beer spill on your pedal board. Imagine beer spilling on this.
No, exactly. Supply. Or, you know, you're going to be like, oh, I got this, I don't know, like you're just going to have some patch cables floating in there. They're going to touch the wrong thing to the wrong thing and explode
right.
Who knows?
Yeah. Something's going to happen with that situation. I don't trust it for a minute. And maybe it's the best power supply ever. And like
trust it,
years from now, we're going to be like, electronic brains are all the hype right now. Like everyone's got to have one.
If your power supply is not an electronic brain, what are you even doing? Just quit.
Yeah. If you're not powering your pedals with an electronic brain, then you're not thinking, you know?
If you want to maximize your gain, you need an electronic brain.
There you go. We're going to pitch this thing and we're going to be responsible for the marketing hype behind electronic brains.
Gosh.
Copyright TM.
All right. Sorry if this is yours and you made that. It's a cool, I think it's a cool project. It's just like also kind of pointless.
Right.
Here's what I would vision.
It's like making your own homemade TV remote.
Here's where I would see that as like a cool project to have, is like if you build pedals like for fun or profit or whatever,
sure.
And on your bench you wanted like something unique as like your test power supply, then that could be like a cool fun project that you built that you have. That being said, I also know this is a weird thing that I would never think you would need, but that people who make pedals and are serious about it actually own like several of the big brand. Like, so they own a Strymon power supply, they own a Walrus, they own a True Tone, they own a Chalks, because they want to make sure whatever filtering that they use on their pedal actually will work with all of the different brands.
I've run into like power supply issues with various pedals over, the decade of doing demos
Yeah.
on this channel. And whenever I do, I'm talking to a builder and they're like, well, do you use this power supply, this power supply, this power supply, or this power supply? Because we've tested it with these 4 and not had this issue. And I'm always like, no, I'm using some cheap POS,
You
like
get yourself a real
brick.
power supply.
I have real power supplies, but I use them in my pedal boards. On my desk, I use cheap stuff because it works most of the time. But yeah, I've got a really nice Walrus power supply
you got the
in my
Walrus
gigging board, and then I've got a Fender power supply in my surfboard, and then a few other nicer power supplies around.
Cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Dope. That's rad.
It's rad stuff. Yeah, I've got
so sick
gear. You know,
Ryan, what's new?
What is new? I teased it last week. I went to New Orleans with my wife for our anniversary trip. We've been married 15 years, guys.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
It's funny. It's actually funny that you say that because I think, so 15. So I've been married like a year and a half longer than you.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, I don't think I ever processed like the individual numbers. So for years, I just have always thought like, oh man, I've been married so much longer than Ryan.
Right.
Like not in a derisive way, just like in a generally thinking way. And then now that you say, I'm like, oh, like I've
a
been
year and a
married
half.
Year and a half. But it's just, it's the same thing when it's like, you're in high school and you're like, I'm a senior. I would never date a sophomore. But then when you're like when you're 30, you're like, oh yeah, 28. Like she's almost too old for me.
Right.
And if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, 28 is too old for you. So.
Right.
Anyway, how did you? Tell me about New Orleans.
It was a lot of fun. I'd never been there before.
Do you call it New Orleans or Nolans or
Let's find out.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Okay,
that's what I say. New Orleans. So I feel like I'm somewhere in between, like the super white way of saying it and like the local
and the correct way
way of saying it, because they say Nolans, and I say New Orleans.
Nolans, like Henry Nolans.
And then
singer for Black Flag.
And then people elsewhere say New Orleans.
New Orleans.
They hit every vowel and consonant.
New Orleans.
Right. Well, I say New Orleans.
Right.
It's not a big deal. I don't know. I might change the way I say it.
How many hand grenades did you have?
Just the one.
Just the one.
Oh my gosh, was it sweet. Like I split
That's
it.
How they get you.
I split it with Lauren. Yeah, it tastes like a melted Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like booze at all. And I'm sure the booze that they're using in it is barely rubbing alcohol, because they're covering it up with so much sugar.
Right.
And it's all just this profit margin drink that they're selling these plastic tourist cups. And I was like, I got to try one of these things. I'm seeing everyone walk around with it. I'm glad I tried it, but I got other cocktails the rest of the time that I was there. I got a couple really nice Sazeracs. I hadn't had a Sazerac before. I was going to stopping into nicer restaurants and dive bars and stuff like that. Like I'll try a Sazerac here.
Wait, you went to nicer restaurants and dive bars?
That's right.
That's the whole gamut.
That's every place you could go
to.
Weirdly, I ran into way more viewers there than I was expecting.
Which was what, like 2? You told me about 2.
I ran into 4. Jeez. But I didn't talk to the 4th one.
Oh, okay.
They spotted me and messaged me about it later.
Yeah, I saw that message and I just left it for you.
So the first 2 was in this, it was called a European Jazz Club, which was on Bourbon Street. And it's it's like a pub, but they have jazz musicians there the entire time that they're open every day. So you just could go in at any point and there's people playing music.
So they have jazz musicians, but they also have a DJ.
No,
because it's like Euro. It's Euro.
Yeah, it's electro.
It's Euro step jazz.
No. It was like going to like an Irish pub that happens to have jazz. But I went there and got spotted like 2 different viewers at the same time. Not at the same time, but like
were they there together?
10. No.
See, that's more fascinating.
Different groups.
Wow.
And one of the guys. Hi, I think your name was Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
He works at Guitar Center, and I tried to like line it up, like, hey, let's meet up for drinks tomorrow night. And then it just never happened. Like,
okay.
What happened is I told him to message me on Facebook, and he messaged our page.
Yeah.
and I wasn't checking messages for that because it goes to a different place.
Yeah.
And then another guy, Lauren and I got caught out in the rain because we were taking the trolley around.
It rained.
It rained, like rain that we do not get here. But it did it for about 2 hours, and then it was over, sort of thing. Yeah. We're taking the trolley around. We're looking at the town. It's beautiful. We get out because we're going to try to hoof it to this restaurant, and all of a sudden the sky just cracks open.
Yep.
And it's like there's more sky in the air than there would be in like a river. Like it's just pure water coming down in sheets. And so we're standing in the overhang for a hotel that we were able to run to, and we're waiting for an Uber, and this guy comes out and he's waiting. And he looks at me and he's like, "Are you?" I'm like, I am. You caught me. And he's like, "I was just
Jeff Daniels." Are you? Yeah. Well, Chris Elliott. I'm such a big fan.
It was interesting because like one of the guys at the bar was like, "I bought this because of you. I bought this because of you. I bought this because of you." Yeah. I'm like, "Okay, I'm so sorry I ruined your life." And the guy that got caught in the rainstorm did the same exact thing to me. And it's like, where are like all the affiliate managers that,
oh my gosh,
I need to be recording this so I can send this to my Sweetwater affiliate manager and say, like, see, I'm selling stuff. It works. You know, we're in business here. And then the fourth guy spotted me as Lauren and I were walking around in the hot heat of a sunny day, exploring a neighborhood. And he was like, "Did I just see you walking around? Why? Why are you walking? It's too hot." And he was a pedal builder. I forget his brand already. I'm sorry. I'll look it up and I'll put a caption and I'll put his Instagram down here or something like that. Yeah. So give him the proper recognition. But it was just really interesting to me. Like, I don't get spotted that much locally. It's wild that I go to another city and I was only there for like 3 days.
Did all those people live there? Did you know? I mean, maybe
no, 3 of them were traveling.
So that's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
But like, what I was going to say is, well, New Orleans is like famously a music destination.
Right. People who like music are going to tourist themselves there. Yeah. You know.
So it's like if you went to Nashville and you're like, you just went to Nashville randomly, not for an event, and you're like, "Oh, I ran into so many listeners." And I'm like, "Ryan, you're in a city where like
I know.
It's like it's tourism and music are the two main industries.
It's infested with musicians." No, you're right, but it was still odd. It was still interesting to me. Like the odds of running into anyone always seems so minuscule to me because I know all of you watching this are like, "Oh, this is a big channel." It's not.
Right.
It's not. Like in comparison to so many other things in the world, like it's really, really, really not.
Every person subscribed to this channel lived in the same place, we would have what some might describe as a small town.
A small town. And a small town that we could try things in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Glad we got on this topic.
We
had an excellent time in New Orleans. I bought a Banjitar. It's 100 years old. I already made a video about it, so you can go watch that. I bought a 100-year-old Banjitar, guys.
It looks way dirtier on the monitor than it does.
It's pretty filthy looking, isn't it? But it's in really great condition. Go watch the video. Other than that, if you like drinking and eating and walking around in the hot, humid heat, I'd recommend New Orleans to you as a travel destination. Also, Lauren got really sick and threw up the first night, so I kind of walked around the town by myself for the first night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did she get sick at night or the next day?
At night.
Oh, okay.
And then so we flew in. Yeah. We walked around a bit. She got sick that night. Like after we went to bed, she started throwing up. And then the next day she was just wrecked. So that
like super late.
That first day I walked around by myself for the most part and was going back and getting her things and stuff like that. And then when we came back home, that first night home, I got the same sickness and threw up.
Flying's hard, man.
I don't know if
it's from flying.
I think it was just a stomach bug that's been going around, and then our kids caught it a week later.
Oh man, because I was gonna say like I feel
and now you're gonna get it.
I know. Thanks, dude. I was gonna say I feel like flying is like pretty hard on your body because you're like in a plane for like 3, 4, 5 hours. You're not moving. You don't realize how dehydrated you get.
I intentionally dehydrate myself on planes.
And then like the first thing that you do when you get off the plane, even if you're doing it on purpose, like you don't realize how dehydrated you are.
Right.
And then like the first thing you want to do when you get off the plane is like, just you got so much energy because you've just been like,
oh yeah, and you just want to run around.
You just want to do all the things like right away.
That's what I thought. I thought she had overexerted herself.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I thought too.
I think it was a legit stomach bug.
That's wild.
When I got it, it was like, oh, this isn't like travel anxiety or anything like that. This isn't me overexerting myself. This is like I've got a stomach full of bad bacteria.
Gotcha. Ryan, we need to do a thing.
Let's do a thing.
Now that we've talked about all
Did you have
the
anything
stomach
new?
bad things. No.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's do that thing.
Let's do this thing.
If you want to send us mail, the address is right up here. It is a UPS box.
This is from Robert Bush.
Bob Bush.
Possibly an heir to Anheuser-Busch. We don't know.
Do you think this is full of beer?
No, because it's a pretty lightweight package.
Well, it could be dehydrated beer.
Let's see what this letter says. Ryan,
what is this?
I admire your courage in getting drums for Henry. I know his urge to play could disappear, but any journey in music will have positive effects. Speaking of effects, this drum I made is to be played through a guitar rig, and it loves most effects like delay, modulation, even fuzz. The drum uses a magnetic bass or guitar pickup, right side knob, and a piezo pickup, left side knob.
I was not expecting anything like this.
I like to run the magnetic pickup at full volume and blend in the piezo to taste. Either knob at 0 will shut off the sound. I'm a guitar player, but can get lost in the sounds of this finger drum. It's tons of fun, easy to grab and go. Hope you and Henry like it. Rob. And there's a link. Can you send me that? Or you know what? Let me just take a picture.
You can take that paper with you.
I don't want to take
it. Oh, it's made in like a coffee can or something. Will you look at that? I'm going to have to plug this in and mess around with it. It's totally like a coffee can sort of situation. Look at this fat boy pickup in there, Steve.
Whoa, that is beefy. Let me take a look.
It's a humbucker.
Yeah, that is.
Is that a bass pickup?
That is definitely a bass pickup.
Holy hell. It looks like a
bass pickup. Oh, I do have something new. I forgot about that. Well, if everything works out, well, let's finish talking about this. This is really cool.
This is fascinating. Is it a volume and a tone control?
It's a piezo pickup and a magnetic pickup.
Oh, okay.
And they blend together. And apparently they're wired. I think it would be wired in series. So either of them at maximum or at 0 will kill.
So something interesting. Henry is learning the drums, but I'm also learning the drums right now. I'm doing a video to basically earn a drum kit. Thank you, Sweetwater. I'm doing a video where the premise is, can a guitarist learn the drums in 30 days? So this could end up becoming part of like my demo rig here, where it's like, oh, this pedal's cool, but how does it sound with a drum?
There you go.
That's also, obviously, my kids are going to have a blast playing with this. So I'm really looking forward to exploring this thing. Also, it's got a textured side, so you could like... I like that. Thank you for sending this. What an interesting device.
So when you held that up and you said, what kind of pickup is that? Is that a bass pickup? I was going to say, oh, that looks like the humbucker in my Gibson bass. However, if everything works out, I no longer own a Gibson bass because by the time this episode airs, I will have sold it.
Update next week. We'll find out if you actually sold it.
A friend of ours reached out and said they were interested, and I said, yeah, let's do it. And
a friend of ours.
Interesting. Plays the bass. So
is someone that I know?
Someone that you know. Someone that we both know.
Will I be surprised?
No. Okay. Someone that we're both very close to.
We're very close to?
Well, maybe not very close, but
can you say their name?
Sure. It's Jared.
Oh, Jared's gonna buy it?
Yeah.
All right,
he
cool.
Said he thinks his Music Man, it's had some issues over the years with like the preamps had some problems.
Yeah, he's always had problems with the electronics on that thing.
It sounds like it's finally, it kind of sounds like a capacitor or something is going out on it. and so it's sending a really weak signal to the sound guy. And so I was like, well, dude, he was asking me about it. I go, yeah, the Gibson's got like a ton of output. It's got big, beefy, passive humbuckers in it.
Big beef sound.
So I'm hoping if he likes it, then it's his.
There you go. He's trying it right now?
He's going to be, well, yeah.
Okay.
By the time this episode airs, he will have tried it.
Cool.
And then we'll have made a decision. So
there you go.
That's my
Steve,
thing.
We've got
selling a bass.
We got one more ad to do and a song, and we're at 52 minutes. Do we even need the topic?
No, but we do need to do a sponsor spot.
We'll do the topic really fast.
All right.
Okay. Sponsor spot me, though. Stringjoy. This episode is brought to you by Stringjoy. Hopefully, I've already filmed myself putting this set of Oops All G strings onto my Les Paul.
Ryan, most people have one G string on their guitar. How many do you have?
I am going to have 6 G strings on my guitar, and I'm going to tune them all to G. Hopefully the video is already up, or will be up soon. I can't wait to strum a big old G chord made out of nothing but G strings. It's going to be a real blast.
Yep.
If you want to have a ridiculous set of strings that makes no sense to other people, then you can get that set of strings from Stringjoy with their custom string builder. Use code HUM at checkout to get 10% off. Also, if you use our link down below, we get a cut of the action because it is an affiliate link. So you're going to buy strings. This is a guitar show. Everyone watching the show is a guitarist for the most part. I know there's a couple of you weirdos who watch this without playing guitar. I have no idea why, but most of you are going to buy strings. Try some Stringjoy strings. I've been using them a lot, like exclusively here. I can barely talk. I've been using Stringjoy strings exclusively here for months now, maybe a year, something like that. And I've been loving them. I've been having a great time with them. I especially like the coated sets. So go check those out and use our link. Who's the other sponsor, Steve?
The other sponsor is UnderMyRoof.app.
UnderMyRoof.app.
They're an organizational app, but they have a lot of different functions, including pictures and a lot of room to take notes. So if you're like us and you own more than one guitar, you have a few guitars, maybe you've done some mods to those guitars and you want to make sure you really remember what they are and you want digital to carry with you and you're in an Apple ecology,
right? This
is the perfect app for that.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Ryan.
Off the top of your head, could you please list every possession that you own?
No, but if I had this app, I could like make that list.
So you don't need to remember every possession that you own. You could just make a list of it and use this app for that.
Yeah.
All right. Now I see the purpose of this app. It's for listing everything that you own and documenting it so that you have it all organized.
It's really cool. It's really intuitive.
Lots of people love this sorts of stuff. It's not my bag at all.
You can download it and try up to I think it's 10 items for free.
But my wife,
you can feel it out.
My wife loves this sorts of stuff. Yeah. And when you were explaining the app, she was like,
it's like $25 a year, dude. Yeah. You should just do it.
Probably should get it for birthday or Christmas or anniversary.
Or you just had your anniversary. It could be a late anniversary.
Here, honey. I know I took you I took you to New Orleans and we had an amazing time.
Okay,
but this is the real gift.
You should. Since it's coming up. You should get it for her for your birthday.
For my birthday,
you'd be like, "This is my gift to you, so you can organize my life for me."
Happy my birthday, organize my life.
Yeah. All right. This topic was sent by.
Let me pull it up.
A listener. This topic was sent by a listener.
Yes, always a listener by top contributor of the Facebook group. If you want to try to dethrone him, get on the Facebook group and get active. But it's Noah Barnett.
Oh, that's going to be a tough act to dethrone.
You're going to have to post a lot of stuff to dethrone him. If you could delete any pedal and the memory of it from existence, what would it be?
Ugh.
Don't take mine. I already told you mine.
Yeah.
So you can say a different one, but
do you want me to go first?
Go first.
Okay, this is I think is gonna be controversial, but I kind of feel like the industry has already sort of memory hold this pedal anyway. It's the Boss DS1.
You would just erase the DS1.
Nobody cares about so many people care about it, but at the same time I feel like nobody cares about it.
Like there have been people who have used it to great effect.
I know.
But it's in a way where it's like, you never hear a pure DS1 when it's being used to great effect. It's always like pushing like a hot amp.
Here's what I want. And maybe people are going to like, I think the saying DS1 is already inviting controversy.
Yes.
But this is my challenge to the listeners because I don't educate me.
What would society replace it with is what I want to know.
No, just educate, replace it with the rat.
All right.
Educate me. What is a better DS1? I don't know. Like if you said, if like I'm saying like rats, what's a better rat? Well, maybe I would say like a woodcutter is a better rat. Sure. The
LA Metal is a different rat.
Yeah, the 1981 DRV is a different rat. But what's there's a DS1.
What's a variation? What's another variation on DS1?
Vox made a DS1 when they did like I think a dual pedal for Satriani.
Right.
But other than that, like are there DS1 clones out there? And if there's not, why is that?
Where there's that's why I'm saying like Keeley mods and things like that.
Yeah, but nobody makes that.
All right.
Maybe like what I'm saying, maybe somebody makes it, but I feel like there's nothing out there where it's like, oh man, you really need a DS1, but you shouldn't get the Boss one. You should get this other one instead. Whereas Rat, Klon, all these other types of Blues Breaker, all these other, nobody's saying even now, oh, you should get your tone, like your playing style, you really need to try a Blues Breaker. You should go get a Marshall. No one says that. They say you should get a Blues Breaker. Try the JHS Morning Glory.
Right.
Try the Greer. I think Greer has a Blues Breaker. Like they're suggesting all of these other
now here's
boutique,
my question:
like higher end versions of those.
If we erase these pedals from existence and from memory, does it mean that we also will not remember them?
Nobody remembers them.
No one will remember it because
right.
It would be interesting to me to erase it and then be able to observe what changes. But like my pick would be a Tube Screamer,
right?
Not because like you're saying that like there's no other variations of a DS1 really, like it's not notable enough in that way that people are making, oh, here's my boutique DS1.
Yeah,
it's just it is the DS1. It exists. Everyone has owned at least 3 DS1s in their life.
Yeah,
they bought
because the DS1 you buy it. You sell it.
Right.
And then like 5 years later, you're like, was it really that bad? So you buy another one.
Come on.
And then you're like, oh yeah, it was really that bad.
The sound of the 90s, man.
The sound of the 90s is a drive pedal where the volume knob never reaches unity.
But I would erase Tube Screamers just because it would be so disruptive.
Because you hate Stevie Ray Vaughan.
But no, I think he would find another way of finding his tone.
Yeah, the DS1.
The DS1. No,
there's no Tube Screamer. Stevie Ray Vaughan is now playing dual DS1s.
And I have a suspicion that even if I erased the Tube Screamer and that subsequently led to erasing all variations based on it, I bet Boss would still release the SD1. With the exact same circuit. They'd just be like, oh, here's something we came up with. And they like people just wouldn't like get attached to it. It wouldn't become the same sort of thing. It would be another DS1. It'd be like, oh yeah, everyone has a DS1, but no one's really figured out how to use it.
It could be like, it would be interesting if like the SD1 comes out and then everybody, instead of all of your Tube Screamer clones on the market being based on the Tube Screamer, they were all based on the Super Overdrive.
Right.
So now you've got 100 Super Overdrives on the market.
Right.
And then eventually Boss releases the Turbo Super Overdrive.
Yeah.
The Super Turbo Drive. I don't know.
As far as I'm concerned, SD1 stands for San Diego 1. That's San Diego's
San Diego
pedal.
1.
That's San Diego's pedal right there.
There you go. I don't know.
No, that's the end of the topic. We're done now.
Okay, we're done.
You guys tell us in the comment section. Which pedal would you erase from existence and everyone's memory, even your own memory?
This last ad. Let there be songs to fill the air. Eric Rifftone number 209 is a Jerry Garcia tribute with art by Eric.
By the way, this was sent by Damon Faulkner.
Oh, yeah. Why do I not read that? I used to be like a big stickler for that, and now I don't. All of the art was done with stain rather than paint, which enhanced the distressed look. The body is poplar. The neck is an ESP LTD Viper 50. The pickups are Gretsch Elliott Eastons. The remaining parts are GFS. Eric Rifftone guitars are one of a kind. They are made to be played and displayed. There will never be another one like it. How much are they asking for this?
Thank goodness there will never be another one.
I don't have a price.
We don't have a price?
Did you not screenshot the price?
I suppose I didn't. Oh, no, there it is. It's right there. $375. $35 delivery fee.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. I didn't have that picture is the last picture, but the description was the first picture.
Yeah.
$375. The what's the body?
I think it's
just just a random body.
I think they made the body. You look at the woodworking on it on the side of it. It looks like someone made this.
I did not look at any of these pictures ahead of time. When I opened it, I only saw this picture of the headstock that says Eric Rifftone 209
written in the Les Paul 100.
Yeah, the fat pen.
Right. Which I honestly wonder if that's intentional. Like they were trying to do that same look.
All right, dude. What the?
There's a lot going on here, isn't there?
All right, here's. I went straight to the description. I didn't look closely at any of these.
I like
pictures.
that the body's offset.
I read it. The body's not offset. The body is poplar.
Look at the waist. Like it's reverse offset at the waist.
That's kind of interesting.
I kind of don't hate the body shape. It looks like a little baby bird.
It kind of looks like the Twitter
swimming
logo.
in the water. It looks like a little baby bird swimming in the water.
Looks like the old Twitter logo.
Yeah, it looks like a little Twitter guy.
It looks nothing like the X logo though.
I also like this art of Jerry Garcia. It looks like that Adult Swim show that was about the college. They had the professors.
I have no idea.
And it had that Baby Cakes character in it. Cat people run.
Dude, I never
never
really watched Adult Swim, so
I can't believe I can't remember the name of that show now, but it looks like it's in that style.
It looks like rotoscope to me.
Yeah, it's totally like a trace of a photo.
The front of this guitar, the bridge is interesting. I don't know what kind of bridge that is.
It's a gold hardtail strap
bridge. It's just
bridge.
the side things, just random.
Those are just some decorative metal parts that they found.
The controls, I think, are the position is fine.
It's fine.
The front of this guitar, how much do they want? $350.
This looks like a functional guitar to me. It looks weird. It looks quirky.
$375.
It looks like the bridge might actually be floating on those metal pieces.
Oh, so maybe
you can see light underneath the bridge. That is, but from the front, it doesn't look like it's resting on the metal pieces. What is it suspended on?
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Something's going on there. Like this, there might be some build quality issues with that bridge.
It says it's their GFS. It's a GFS part, so maybe.
But why is it floating over the guitar body like that? Almost like a Dan Electro bridge where it is floating above the body. It's such a blurry photo, but it gives you an impression that there's some.
I mean, the picture,
something screwy going on.
That picture is trying to show you the edge of the body, not
right. I know it's not focused on the right thing. Also, the art is all the wrong direction. If you're playing this thing, Jerry Garcia is hanging upside down, and then the writing on it, the "Let there be songs to fill the air," is going to be going sideways.
So, as an art piece, definitely these are hanger.
Sure,
this is hanger art. I think the art is. What do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say I think the art is subjective.
It is.
I think the art's good. I like the art.
I don't hate the art. You know what? I'm going to guess. I am not a Grateful Dead fan. I don't dislike them, but I certainly don't seek them out. And when I have heard them, I've been like, not for me, which is a completely fair assessment of the Grateful Dead, I think.
It's fine.
But the impression I've gotten of Grateful Dead fans is that for $375, I think someone's going to want it. I think someone's going to appreciate it and they're going to want it.
So I thought in reading the description, I was going to pull this up.
But the skull thing on the back is baffling to me. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
So I
guess we're done.
Did it spoil it?
Okay. I read the description. You all were here. I read the description.
Right.
And in the back of my mind, I'm like, all the art was done with stain rather than paint. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting something that looks like crap. I slide over and it's the full picture of the front of the guitar. And I go, this is kind of like at least art fair classy.
Sure.
And I scroll again.
Like a street fair.
Sure. Street
it's
fair,
like street
county
fair,
fair.
art. Yeah.
You know, that kind of a
It's
thing.
not county fair, it's street fair art.
I don't go to street fairs.
I'm always on
and
the
then
street
I get
in the fair.
To this handprint skull thing. There's no middle finger on it. Is it broken off? I don't understand this skull at all. It's got to be like,
it's not. You'd think if they were going to go skull, they would go Grateful Dead skull.
This
one looks more like some sort of weird, like cop emblem, like Punisher's.
I think this guy, whoever this Eric Rifftone, I don't know who Eric Rifftone
Blue
is.
Lives Matter, like Punisher skull sort of motif, but it's not a Punisher skull. But it's giving me those vibes of like this guy would have a big like Blue Lives Matter flag on the back of his Ford F-150.
Okay, I'm going on. There's one other Eric Rifftone,
which really isn't the vibe of Grateful Dead fans. So like. Maybe it is now. Grateful Dead fans, like, do you have a lot of like cop lovers in your midst? What's going on?
I'm looking at there's like another Eric Rifftone guitar on Reverb right now. And it doesn't have a skull on it anywhere that I can tell. So I don't know if this is, I don't know.
I'm going to Google skull hand missing middle finger to see what comes up. We're going to find out that this is like a gang sign or something like that. No, I'm just getting a bunch of skulls flipping me off. Okay, okay, here is a handprint that's missing a middle finger on Reddit.
Like, is that a Grateful Dead
thing?
thing?
I think it's a Grateful Dead thing, because just realized the iconic Jerry hand stamp decal. Okay, so this must have something to do with Jerry Garcia.
Was he was missing a finger, huh?
Jerry was missing a finger from his right hand. And this person is pointing out that the handprint is someone... No, they don't understand. Okay, so there's this Reddit post of this person like, oh, I just realized it's a handprint of the left hand. No, it's not, you idiot.
No, that's a right hand.
That's a right hand. They're looking at that and going, that's a left hand. Because they're looking at the wrong side of their hand. That person's an idiot.
So is this...
All right, okay, so this has to do with Jerry Garcia. It's not a bootlicking thing, even though it gave me those vibes. It is a Grateful Dead thing. I just
Grateful Dead
didn't understand
skull.
it.
Let's look at the skull.
Well, that's going to be the skull logo that has like the lightning bolt in it.
Yeah. So I guess that's where I'm throwing off.
That's like the iconic Grateful Dead skull. This other skull like doesn't look like anything Grateful Dead to me.
Yeah, it's a little
right. Like, where's the bears at? I mean, you have to admit the Grateful Dead have some excellent branding going on. Like, I don't think even a lot of people realize they're looking at Grateful Dead art when they see those bears. You know, they're like, oh, there's some cute little bears.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I guess this is that. The more you know.
I don't know. It was 350, 325. 375.
375.
Down from 500. I think a Grateful Dead fan is gonna buy this and they're gonna love it as a wall hanger, or they're gonna haul it with them to a concert and watch John Mayer play and try to get him to sign it or whatever.
Yeah, and clearly I'm not a big enough Grateful Dead fan to understand it, so roast me in the comment.
Sure.
Do me one better.
I think the price is fair.
If you're a Deadhead, if you're a fan, just tell me what I should listen to. Unlike Ryan, I'm a lot more open to listening to new music.
Here, I have listened to the Grateful Dead though.
Yeah, but
I know what they sound like.
You don't listen to other music that I tell you to listen. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll listen to it. Send me a link and I'll listen to it every single time.
Did you ever listen to that one song I posted?
You posted it?
Yeah, I sent it to you. I sent it in the group chat.
If you sent it to me, then I probably listened to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is Bluetooth off?
I don't know.
Who did that?
All right. No, we have to pick a winner first.
Oh, yeah. Let's pick a winner.
Steve. I think the electronic brain gets it for me. I'm going with the electronic brain. Are you going with the...
Oh, man, I want to go...
Viper, the Vampire?
I think I want to go with Jerry Viper, because anytime I learn something, It makes me want to.
All right.
Pick it.
Do you want the Chris side or the Spin Doctor side?
I want the Chris side. I feel like I usually don't take the Chris side.
Chris is Jerry Viper, and Spin Doctors is Electronic Brain. So Chris is you. And you got it.
Jerry Viper.
Sent to us by Damon Faulkner. Congratulations. The Spin Doctors pick decided your fate.
I wish we were tracking this. I think I've won every pick flip.
Really?
Those odds don't make sense. I don't remember losing. Maybe
I think not remembering losing might just be a Steve thing. I think that might just be
it's
how
possible.
I think that's just how you're wired, dude.
It is very possible.
I think you just like figured something out about yourself. I don't remember ever losing. Yeah, that tracks, Steve. That's your vibe.
This song was sent by Blue. He says, if you need tunes for the podcast show, attached and a link on my channel if it helps too. No reply needed. So, well, here's the reply. And let's see, is this going to be
And all the winding up ahead.
thanks
Good
Blue
song.
for the song.
Oh,
It auto played into the next one, I think.
I want one of these little hands on every finger so I can clap with 10 hands at the same time. Actually, it would be 12 hands.
It would be 12 hands.
It would be 12 hands.
How many of those hands do you have?
Just these two.
Oh.
Yeah, I think my sister has a bunch more.
What'd you think of the
could
song?
make happen now. I thought it was great. It was fantastic. Excellent production value.
Yeah.
Great beat to
Blue
it.
always sends us good stuff.
Yeah, it had a great like driving feel to it. Sounded awesome. Good job. All right, bye everyone.
Stay grounded.